All right, so welcome everyone. It's 4 o'clock. Just wanted to say hello. My name is Janice Santee with WCF, Central Florida PBS. You may also see our other participant from WCF, that is Patty. She is with UCF College of Education, and she's here to join us today and support us during this workshop. So I'm glad to see everyone. I'm gonna continue on. So what we're going to do today is we call this PBS Teachers Lounge because, in the Teachers Lounge, you talk a little bit about everything. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about PBS resources. We're going to do PBS Learning Media, and we're going to learn the tips and tricks. And I'm going to show you some resources that are science for elementary, preschool, elementary, all the way through middle school and high school. So before we continue, let me go back. So if you could put in the chat sort of your name, what county you work for, and what grade you teach. That way we get an idea of all the friends we have out there today. Let's see. Oh, Orange County. Oh, there's Fort Myers. Woohoo! How's the weather over there? It was so great here today. It's like fall. Amazing. Awesome. Oh, so we have from middle school all the way to elementary, all the way to high school. So that's awesome. We have a wide variety of people. That's excellent. So again, my name is Janice. I'm WCF Central Florida PBS. We provide resources for 9 counties within our Central Florida. We broadcast, and we are community service of the University of Central Florida. But again, PBS is a national organization, so everything we do, we have for you is free. So we're going to start. This is me down here. This is my email, and I'm going to give you a little housekeeping in the beginning that I'm going to send you this PowerPoint when we're done. So if you want to include your name in the chat, or if Amy has your information for us, that way I can send you this PowerPoint. I'd like to do things hands-on and go to the site itself. So that way you can go and do and explore on your own. What I've done is I've included links to everything in here, so you'll have them. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a couple free preview pages. So this is today's plan. We're going to have an overview of PBS resources in general very quickly. And then we're also going to talk about PBS Learning Media. We're going to learn how to navigate the platform and look at all your tools. I'm going to show you some sample collections. And then of course, we'll get some connections, some feedback from you as well. So here's our first question for this session. So I would like for you to put in the chat how you're feeling lately. Is it A, hey, I'm glad to be home and working from home, at least most of the time. B, I'm tired of looking at myself on the computer. That's me. C, I've met so many people around the world. That's sort of Luna. D, I wish, I had like a human contact to talk to more often than I do. And then E, it's, I really could use like sometimes just a person to hug. Anybody have how are you feeling over there? Oh yeah, I see I'm meeting a lot of people, and yes, Henry, I'm tired of looking at myself too. I'm like, good day and bad day. It's like, oh, I have to at least prep from the waist up, right? Everybody feel that? Absolutely. All right. So, yep, I'm getting a lot of B's, yep, and some E's. Yeah, I need some human. Sometimes we just need that. And I think we have to always remember that our kids are the same way as well. So we're going to start by going over a few goals, and we'll also send these resources with the printable link as well. So PBS, anything in PBS Kids, PBS Learning Media, you'll see that everything is aligned to standards. So we have the goals. These are the programs that are on there. Most of these resources kids are familiar with. So the good thing about PBS, whether kids are middle school or high school, that they have some background knowledge in what PBS is, not just for the kids show, but also for the grown-up shows too, for the more adult shows, or science and nature. I'm a big nature fan, so I love that show. It's very exciting for me. And also, all of the apps that we have are also aligned to standards. So you'll see there's a lot of STEM, and there's also some literacy ones, and we're continuing to come up with new resources and add them to our plethora of sites. So pbskids.org is not just for PBS kids, it's not just for kids. And I'm going to go over quickly what that means. I'm going to click on to PBS Kids. So can someone give me a yoo-hoo if you see PBS Kids site? Do you see the PBS Kids? Yes? Yeah, okay, thank you. I just need one woohoo because I see it differently from our angle. So PBS Kids, yes, and you could think, oh, well, I teach an older grade. We're gonna start here and we're gonna work our way up. So all of the resources, and I'm gonna show you an example of one of our new resources, which is Hero Elementary. It's all about science. Sorry if the music's playing. Oh, wait for it. So you'll see that, oh. So you'll see that, I'm gonna go back. Okay, that was a bad choice. Continues to play. But you'll see when you look at them, this Eleanor Wonders Why is our other new science property that's out. So everything that PBS, all the PBS Kids game, you'll see they have activities, they have games that kids can watch, that kids can play. They have videos, which include full versions and video clips. And they also have activities that are aligned to that resource. So this is a new science property. It's really good. And they have their lessons, which we'll go over. So some of these activities are obviously just coloring, but this is like creating an ecosystem with a pond, making food, and actually creating different, a soup. It's like a soup activity. This is, this one was exploring like those helicopter seeds. So they have a lot of different ways that you can use these resources with the kids. But I just wanted you to see that PBS Kids all have follow that same format of games, videos, and activities. So it's just another resource that you can use. I'm going to continue on to the next one. So the apps and more is actually found. I'll give you a quick clue of where these are. When we were on the PBS Kids page, I'll go back for a minute. You'll see up here, it says apps. This is where you can find a listing of all of our apps. So one of our newest apps is Play and Learn Engineering. And you'll see that one there. These actually are, you have to use on your phone or a mobile device other than your laptop. But it gives you a list of all of the games and resources that we have. And so that's a nice thing to see for this. For example, this one, Ready, Jet, Go, Space Scouts. It tells you a little about, these are 5 STEM focused games. The kids have badges, and these are the kinds of things that they do. And it's actually really a good game. So new things coming out from PBS. And again, these are about the apps. So you'll see also we have a site called pbs.org/learn. And on this site, I'm not going to go there, but you'll see there's some different activities on there that you can explore. These were made with the function that teachers can go in there. There's activities to watch. There's activities that they can play. And it has like links for the classroom as well. I do want to point this one out. Scratch Junior is the PBS version of coding. So that one is an amazing app because it actually, kids create that storyboard using the PBS characters. So that's sort of fun. The next one is PBS for Parents. And again, I'm going to send you this PowerPoint and you'll have all of these links on here embedded. So there's no, you don't have to like write them down, but I'm going to go to PBS Parents. This is a very interesting page. And a lot of people are not familiar with this resource. So in PBS Parents, there is a Learn and Grow developmental. These are by age group. So these are for the younger kids. But for example, an 8-year-old, if you're looking for activities on character, maybe resilience, you can click on there. It gives you a synopsis of what that child looks like at that age and stage. And sometimes we hear parents saying, well, why are they behaving that way? Well, they're supposed to behave that way. And it gives you an opportunity, gives you other resources that you can play, printables that are aligned to that, articles to share with families digitally, and so on and so forth. So you'll see those on there. And up here, when you just go to the main page on PBS Parents, they also have this ways to filter. So you can filter through the top activities, but you can also filter here by age range. Oops, sorry, my computer's a little sensitive this afternoon. So you can filter by age range, and you can also filter by topics that you want to check. And then you'll get the activities and of course search and so on and so forth. All right, so that's PBS Parents. PBS Teachers Lounge. Now, this one is sort of, it's really cool because we get articles from people all around the country that are part of this education system. It's our voices as educators that we're able to use with PBS in PBS Teachers Lounge. So educators write articles. So there's a lot of articles here on engaging kids in politics. What is Latinx? There's some current ones on exploring elections and what does the decoding the elections in the state. One of the ones that I think is, there's also the link to the anti-racist research and training and tools for teachers to use, voices in education from all of us. One of the things that I want to show is that they have a resource. So here's one about racial divide. So they have a resource in here that is, so here's one on Bitmoji, which is really trending right now. I love that one. And there's one here as well, and I'm going to see if I can find it. It is, so here. This one is about distance learning. So when you click on here, you're going to get these really great backgrounds that you can download from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood all the way through Odd Squad, Old Mr. Rogers, all different characters all the way down. You download them and they will be your Zoom background. So how cool is that? Kids would love to see that. And so you can explore all these resources, download them. Now you have them to use to sort of a fun background with your kiddos. So that is the PBS Teachers Lounge. We'll also announce on here new virtual professional development that's not just local, but also in throughout PBS National. It's available to all teachers. So anybody have any questions on those resources? I know I went pretty quick, but I want to focus my attention on PBS Learning Media. You feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. I know there's some in the chat, and Patty, and if you see anything in the chat that you would love to ask, just let me know that someone's asking. Okay, cool. All right, so a quick chat time. All right, you can unmute yourself if you'd like, or if you'd like to just put it in the chat. So what do you know about PBS Learning Media? Is it A, I have used it, B, I have seen others use it, but I'm not sure what it is, or C, I thought PBS was just PBS Kids? I'm just going to say that that's usually the answer I get, but let's see. I'm curious to see. I'm going to check the chat. Oh, good. So I have a lot of people who are PBS teachers. Woohoo! Excellent. That's great. Oh, and some of you have seen others use it too. Yep. It's one of those things that I'm going to teach you how to do it today, and you'll see. So easy, and you wish you would have had this. I was in the classroom for a long time, and I wish I would have known more about it when I did it. So I'm like, my mission is to make sure that you all know. All right, so we're going to dig into PBS Learning Media, and we're going to do a quick overview. So I'm going to just slide through the pages. I want to show you that these pages I'm going to send you. So it gives you like the information, and it gives you the link. All these are linked. I'm not going to go through those. I'm going to do it actually through, we're going to do it interactively, okay? So I'm going to go back to this page, and we're going to actually go into PBS Learning Media. So if you all can see it, let me know. Everybody can see it? Yes? Okay, there's a woohoo. I think I'm training somebody there. Woohooing. Good job. Okay, so PBS Learning Media is a free digital platform. You do have to sign in and create an account. And the reason that is because it is a statewide, it's a national platform. So it aligns the standards to your state when you sign in. So if you see here, I'm signed in on my account. And again, it's a free account. You just sign in and it asks you for your zip code. That's how it does it. And then right here, you'll see it says for Florida educators. Okay, now you know that you're signed in, and it will align the standards to your state, and it also lets you save your resources and use the teacher tools. If you ever, and you can always use PBS Learning Media without signing in, but when you do and you try to save something or you see you can't find the standards, you'll know why. Okay, so I'm giving you a heads up. All right, so I'm just going to go over the landing page because pretty much when we go through the resources, we'll see that this is where we want to go back sometimes. So there's different ways to search. We're going to talk about search real quick. So you'll see you can search by subject areas. So all these are the subject areas, and there you can filter by each one, or you could just overlook, you know, look at the entire, all of the selections. You can also filter by grade levels, and you can also filter by standards. So I'm going to show you real quick what it means to filter by standards. Some teachers use this. So once you go in here to the type of standards, you click down, and let's say I want state standard or science standards, I can click that. And then it asks me which ones I want. So I'll say the core standards. And then let's say I'm looking for 5th grade. Now, if right here where it says step 3, you can add your standard, the number of your standard. It escapes me right now, excuse me. But you just add that in there, the information from your standard, and it will actually browse for that specific standard. So I'm just going to click browse, and it'll tell me all the ones for 5th grade, but see, it also includes math. So well, this I had science, so obviously it's just science, but you'll see they have all of the standards there. And when you click, let's say if I just click one of these, it'll filter and bring me every resource that's for 5th grade that's based on that one standard, 275. Okay, and then I can filter it further using the sidebar. All right, so I just want to let you know that that's there. That's always an option. And then P head right here will bring us home. So now I'm going to go to the search. You could search those ways. You can also search by keyword here up the top or keyword right here. I'm going to go down a little more. Here are these content boxes. Now these the same type. You see how it says social studies, English, science. So these areas are the same that you'll find the headers up here as well. It's just a different format. If you want to say, I only want social studies resources, you just click the top of the resource right here. So I'm going to click social studies, only social studies shows up. If I want science, I'll go down and then click science, and I'll have everything in science that's filtered there. Then I can go down and filter some more by grade levels, by type and relevance, and we'll look into that just in a minute. I'm going to go back to this page. So you see these boxes, they change this sort of, it's like they're focusing on highlighting one resource. So they'll have this, they change it about every couple of days or so. So you'll have new resources, and they're timely depending on new things that are happening. So it's the same topics as above, but this just is a highlighted resource, and you can still get into the whole entire, all the strands and everything on there. So you look down here, again, you have other browsing options. We have highlighted news and events. So this will take us to the blog. This will watch the series that you can watch the series on anti-racist teaching that we have for educators, and a new article that came out today about early childhood literacy. These are featured collections. So these are featured collections. These two were created by WCF. So this one is about helpers in our community, how kids are to look at kids as first responders. We also have under this collection, these are for young kids, but we also, just because this is a topic that we all, no matter what we teach, we still have to deal with our kids, and here, how to be a helper. So that how to be a helper is about diversity, about being change makers, about speaking up front for unfairness and so on. So you'll see those resources there. And this one is more social studies based, but we've actually just learned that we go through Central Florida, and you'll see that they have resources here about moon memories and some social studies about moon memories, about Space Chase USA. And this was the whole entire documentary broken down into 20 chronological segments so that you can watch them, because most of the resources on here are 5 minutes or less. This is about teaching to a specific focus, not necessarily teaching a video for the kids to watch. So I'm going to go back to the home page, and then we'll go down to the bottom, and then any new teacher events, whether local or national, will appear on here, and you can just click it on there. They're usually webinars. Okay. If you ever need help and you want to find some information you're looking for, this is where it's located. Down here, the help section will take you to the help page, and it has also tutorials on how to do different parts. So if you want to learn how to use PBS LearningMedia with Google Classroom, you can click the tutorial and it walks you through it. So that's sort of a good learn at your own pace resource as well. So I'm going to go to the main page. Okay, so we're going to click a resource, and let's go to the main science page. Okay, I'm going to start with that way. And I say I'm going to look for something in life science. So I click that. Now I have to filter. I can filter, let's say I want 4th, and I'm going to hit my shift key, 5th and 6th grade. I can do multiple grades. I can decide what kind of resource I want. There's obviously video interactive lessons are when kids do things at their own, they do the lesson at their own pace. You have interactives are usually games. Now you see where it says lesson plans? We have, you'll find out that in a moment that lesson plans are embedded within each resource. So there's no reason to look at them independently. That's eventually going to go away, but just so that you know that that's there. Images, audios, if you're looking for any kind of document or just something that's a web page, or if you want a collection. So I can click collection here, and these are some collections that are for 4th and 5th grade. And I can say I want some popular or newest resources, and then you can explore just different collections as well. Collections are like a cluster of resources that are based on one topic. Now you'll see when I had life science, I have all of the characteristics here as well. So I can choose any of these as I go. If I want ecology, it'll bring me because I already have the filter set in. If I want ecosystem services, I can do that as well. They'll all be in there. So I'm going to go to a different way to look for it. We're going to do keyword search, and then we're going to go into the resource itself. So I'm going to do keyword search, and I'm going to click ecosystem. Okay. So let's say that I'm looking for a resource for my kids. I have 1,986 resources. Okay, that's a lot. Let's say I want this resource to be for my 5th and 6th graders, maybe 7th grade as well. It'll include the resource. And I know specifically I don't have to filter by subject because I entered it, and maybe I'm just going to see what kind of resources they have. If I want a video, I could just click video and it'll show up. But I want you to see this too. Do you see how it says also in ES? That means that resource is also in Spanish. If I wanted to look for a resource and I wanted to filter and find all of the ones that are in Spanish, I can click that too over here on the side. And then any additional accessibility features. Maybe all of them have captions just because it's required. But if you're looking for something audio or what, you always have the accessibility option. So I'm going to choose this resource up here. It's Lost in the Ecosystem. So I love this resource. Obviously, I've already favored it. So as you're looking through your resources and you find things you'd like, I want you can click here, the little heart. And that actually puts it in what's called, I call it like a laundry basket. It's when you go around the house looking for all the dirty clothes for your kids left everywhere, or a classroom, the same kind of thing. You throw it in there, and you save them all. Okay. And then you will see that all of your resources will have support materials. So down here, we see the support materials. There are handouts, discussion questions, tips. This is one of my favorite handouts here. So you can see it. This one is sloths. So this video is very short. The kids can use this printout to write the information and listen to the video more than once, because we listen to videos more than once. kids can do that as well. It's downloadable, but it is a great resource that accompanies it, and it's already part of PBS Learning Media as well. You'll have teacher tips, other kinds of graphic organizers as well on here. So here, this one is answering questions. And again, the videos are short, so kids can listen to them multiple times if they need to. Okay, so, oh, excellent, you use that. I'm trying to sneak in the chat, but it's hard to do that when I'm doing this. Okay, so if I'm not answering it, it's not that I'm being rude. Okay, so now we look down here a little more, and we can see that it says where the standards are. So this is where you'll find the standards for every resource. And the new standards, we know the standards are changing. So PBS will automatically does that. Everything will, as it changes, the best standards, it will be included into PBS Learning Media, automatically filtered throughout whatever state is doing standard changes, it automatically shows up. And then of course it shows you some other collections and resources. So let's say we found this resource we really liked, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna look maybe at another resource. Let's see if we want, I'm gonna go back to the main page, and let's say I'm gonna just pick something with here, just in the main one, let's see, Earth and Space. And I just want maybe something with patterns in the sky, and I want some observations. Oh, yeah, here you go. Yep. Why do stars twinkle? So now I'm looking at this resource. It gives me, and this one, it doesn't give me any support materials, but that's very rare. It happens once in a while in some of the resources. But you'll see that this, if I wanted to save this one, I wanted to ask, show this to the kids, I can save that for later as well. So now let's look at this resource page. These are pretty much all the same. You can see that on the side here, it says you may also like, so it gives you some suggestions to other resources. It also tells you it's part of this collection. So if you wanted to look for that collection for more resources, just click here, it'll take you there. If you wanted to use this as part of your Google Classroom, you just click on here. It automatically will ask you to sign in. There, it's fine. You choose my class, and I go on and I add it to my Google Classroom. It automatically incorporates the lesson in there. If I wanted to share this resource, maybe I want to put it as an assignment, or I want it to give the kids the link to that. So I can just click here, and you can either I can import the class or create a new class, or I can quick assign with a link. So they give you a funny name for each one, but you have this resource link. Maybe you want to copy it and give it to the kids. They will go automatically, when they go in there, they go to the student PBS site. They don't go through the teacher site. They don't have access to the standards. They don't have access to the resources. They just have access from a student point of view, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is one that this is, you just copy and paste it, or if they're going to go straight to the student site, they can use this banana code. Okay. If you're using it on social media or just want to email it, you can do it as well. All of these features are embedded in these abilities to do that in each one. Okay, so now we found our resources that we liked, we favored them. So what do we do next? So let's go to our tools up here. I'm going to open the tools up, and I'm going to go to my favorites. Okay, so my favorites are a resource. This is where all of my resources, my laundry basket, where all of the resources go. What I love about this is that it's cloud-based. So if I simultaneously want to look on my phone and use the resource, I can find the resource that's added at the same time. I can write myself notes, because I don't know about you, but I have looked for resources and then tried to figure out, and why did I save that? What was my brain thinking or processing? I forgot why I saved it. So this is a great place to add notes for yourself. And again, no one will see these notes. These are just yours. Okay. So now we have this feature here, add a link. And I want to share this with you. So if you click the add a link feature, it's going to let you add an external link to PBS Learning Media. So I like to use this, let's say, Time for Kids. You know, sometimes they have like free articles and stuff like that. So let's say I looked at a Time for Kids, or there's an article that you want to look at. If you saw that you want to continue as a teacher and you find an article that you like, I'd say they had like a free article that you want to look at. You can take this resource. So I'll just take the URL from here. I'll copy the URL, and then I go back to my PBS Learning Media. So it's working, but I'll go here. I'll add my external link. I'll say it's time for kids, whatever the article was. And then I can add my notes. You save it right there. Now you save it. Now it's going to be added to your PBS Learning Media. It's going to be a link. And of course, you can have your notes on here, why you saved it, the day you created it. So it's great. You can add resources from here, from anything that you have outside on PBS Learning Media, and it will keep them all for you, unlimited storage. So now let's say that I want to put these resources in a folder. So I'm going to take these resources. We're going to click the folder, the resources right here. Okay. And I'm going to click, once I click it, it's going to give me the add a folder option. So I'm going to add a folder. Now I have all these folders already set up. I can add it into an existing folder. Let's say I want to add this to my ecosystem folder, but I also wanted to add this to my life science folder. So let's say I'll just put life science. When I click save and update, now you see that they are included into both of those folders. Now I've actually put them in there, all of them. But what if I said, oh, I didn't mean to put that one in the ecosystem one. Oh, goodness. I could just click it here, and it's like taking a paper out of a folder. It doesn't get rid of the resource. It just gets rid of it takes it out of the folder. And just so that you see this little select all. This doesn't automatically uncheck after you've put them in there. So I like to always check and uncheck just to make sure that I put everything correctly. It's just sort of a little tip. Let's say if I did want to delete this resource, I would click delete. And then it is gone, not only from that folder, but also the resource itself. So anywhere it was, it's no longer there. Okay. So that's pretty much the simple, easy way to save your resources. Now, what if I wanted to share a resource? And we talked about how you could share the resource with the kids. What if my teachers wanted to get together and create a folder, and they had a bunch of resources that they want to share with each other? So I click folders, and now it's brought me to my folders page. So let's say I had some saved in my ecosystem. So I just look at that. This is the URL for that folder. If I click view, that's the few I had in there. That's in there. But if I take the URL, I can now share this folder with my other teacher friends. If we're in a grade level or we're teaching the same concept, you can have a folder, create a folder, share it, and then teachers can actually add resources in there. So you don't have to do double the work. I mean, I remember showing up to planning team meetings, and we would look for resources, and we sort of sometimes came back with the same ones. And I thought to myself, how many hours did we spend looking at the same kind of resources? So it was very frustrating. So that's where you find the folders. So now we're going to look at teacher tools, okay, and how you can use the tools in here. So we have 4 different options. We have a lesson builder, storyboard, a quiz maker, and a puzzle builder. I'm going to start with the easy cheesy ones. Quiz maker. So here I can create any quiz, and if you want to see the tutorial, it gives you like a minute and a half, and it gives you the quick tutorial on how to do it. You click it. You 3 steps. You title your quiz. You put any introductory information you want. You can link it to the resource itself, whatever you'd like to do, and then you can create your questions. So you have these different types of questions you can create. Let's say I wanted a multiple choice. I enter the question here, and then I enter all the answers, and then I click here, the ones that are right. It could be more than one, or so that kids can then choose which answer that they have. So you'll see the question types. So we have fill in the blank, which is literally you have to know the word and actually type it in there. A short answer, and then of course essay, and then true or false. So you have these different ones. So when you save, you have a quiz. If you save the quiz, you click it and you save it, it will add it to your quiz file. And then you can actually print the quiz out. I don't have any created here yet. I've been cleaning up my system, so I had too many samples. So you create it, it'll show up here, and then you can actually, your options, it'll give you to get a link for that quiz, and then you can send it to the kids, or you could just print it out. It'll give you that option as well. So then we have the puzzle builder, which is the same concept, except that you have two different puzzles. You could you create a crossword puzzle and a word search. So again, 3 steps, and the tutorial is up here listed at the top that you could look at. You have the name of your puzzle, you add any directions, it works just like Word, and then you can add your puzzle. It gives you the parameters on how to add the puzzle, whether it's a word search, and then it gives you the grid sizes, and it tells you how to put that on there again. Click and save them, and now you have a puzzle. You're able to share them when you created it. Sorry, I'm looking in chats in case. If you create a link to the quiz, do the kids have to be logged on to PBS to do the quiz? No. So what happens is when you create the link to the quiz, you give it to them, it automatically, it will take them to the students page, because it will give you the results of the quiz once they're linked on there. Okay, so kids don't have to be actually logged in. They go to, put in the link, and then it will take them to the students page, and they can do it from the students page. Does that make sense? Let's see, I'm trying. Okay, I'm just trying to, all righty, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next one. It's the lesson builder. So there's 2 ways to do the lesson builder. The lesson builder, you can create a lesson. Like, remember when I clicked the twinkle star and I clicked assign, it just brought it up here. It puts it in here. I can open it up. I can view this as a student, which will take me to the student portal. I can assign it to any of my classes that I have. I can add it to any folder, delete it, or view the results of kids that took the quiz. So for example, in this one, we did the why do the stars twinkle. If I want to view this as a student, it's going to take me to the student page. Now I'm still signed in as the teacher, so I see it even though it's the teacher page, but I'm using the student view. It will ask me for the kids' names, so I'm going to say kid 1, and then I'm going to click start. So really, I didn't write any directions in this. All I did was to ask the kids to watch the video. So now they can watch this 3-minute video. Maybe it's a flipped learning situation where you want them to go home and just watch a video. I mean, they can watch it on their way home in the car on the smartphone. It's not, you know, or they can watch it anytime if they're learning from home. So the kids will finish the lesson, and after they watch the video and they finish the lesson, they can do it again if they want. If not, the results were sent to the teacher. It gives you a list of the kids that took the quiz. So now I'm going to go to my assignments where they were. My assignment was this one, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to view the results, and then it's going to tell me who did the kids in the class who did the resource. So now I'm still on the teacher page. I'm sorry. So now this is the kids page, and it'll ask me the kids information, the child's information. Here, if the child wants to put the code, there's that code area, they can go on there. We're looking at it now again from the students page, from the students view. I'm going to go down to the teacher view. Let's go back in there. Okay. And then go back to assignments. So I'm going to show you one real quick that I've used several times and I created. So I created this quiz, Plessy versus Ferguson, right? And this one, it was quick assign. So I assigned it to the kids. These were the results of the children that used it. So what this quiz was, it was an activity actually. So the kids were to watch this video. It was, these were the questions they were supposed to look at. And then the next slide, it gave a video synopsis, which was included in the resource itself. I went ahead and included the video so the kids can watch the video. Again, it was 3 minutes and 36 seconds. They had their assignment. So their assignment was to create a storyboard, and this was the code that I assigned. And their assignment was to create a picket sign storyboard with the appropriate message using the answers to the questions that they did. And to make sure that I wanted to see what they were answering, I went ahead and included the questions in there. So they have the first one, they submit the answer. And then they have the second question. They do their answer and submit it. And then now I finish it, and then I can go and see what the kids did. Once it's submitted to the teacher, you can look at it. But you all use Google Classroom and other things. This is something that's just embedded in PBS Learning Media, and I don't want to take too much time to do this because you may not want to use what PBS has. I just want you to know that this tool is available for you. So when I went back to my lesson builder, not lesson builder, my assignments, and I saw that what the kids did with this one that I had done, Plessy versus Ferguson, I can open that and view the results. And then it will tell me any of the kids who it was quick assigned. These were the results. I can export the results. So if there were questions they had to answer, I can export them, and it will show them. It'll send them to me in a spreadsheet, and when they completed them, and then when I can delete the children who took that. But again, you use Google Classroom. So if you use Google Classroom, you can just take the link directly from the resource, but this is just an option that you have as well. And then the last one is a lot of fun. It is the storyboard. And then I'm gonna go to the PowerPoint real quick. So the storyboard is one that you use to create similar to like creating a web page kind of. I'm gonna share one that I started with a teacher a while back. As well. So right here, first, let's look over, create a storyboard, and you see the demo right there. So I'm going to create a storyboard, opens up to this page. Again, 3 different steps. You have your title. So all these boxes here are movable. I can shrink them. This one is to add some text. I can delete them if I don't want that. This is where you can actually add resources from PBS Learning Media that you have saved on your favorites. So let's say if I had this one and I saved it and I wanted to add it on here, I can click it, and then it will ask me to save it, and I want to add it on there. Yes, add these to the storyboard, and then it will add that resource to the storyboard. I can add directions on telling the kids I want them to use it. If I have a resource, for example, that the kids can't access, if it doesn't allow me to save because of shareable rights, then you can actually add the text on here and then hyperlink it to the resource within PBS Learning Media, and it'll take you there. So it's sort of like a little shortcut to do that. But these pages are all movable. You can add, delete. Here's a clip art page. I want to add it down here. So I'll move it down a little more, and I can add it. I can add it down here. It adds it on. Very easy and movable. And once the kids learn how to do it, it's really fast. The PBS is working on some tutorials for students to look at and be able to do these kinds of things. So the kids can watch them over and over, so you don't have to spend time showing them how to do the resource. That is to come. There are a lot of changes and things that we've made. So please be, patient. We're working on, that's something that they're working on. So this is a great fun resource as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the drop-down menu. So we've gone over, so right now you know how to find your resources, you know how to save them, you know how to put them in Google Classroom, you know how to add them to your favorites and log out, you know how to share them with your fellow educators. So pretty much the only thing we did not go over today is classes, because that takes a little bit longer to show you how to set up the classes, but it's pretty much importing them like you would with Google Classroom. And so many teachers use Google Classroom now that's always an option to have. But again, you can find that in the tools under the help section. And I apologize, we don't have time. It's just so many things. And also too, I want to make sure that you are have time to practice some of these things and not give you so much information. We always can go and do further training and further opportunities to learn this deeper. So I'm going to, sorry, cancel that. I'm going to get into this, and I'm going to go back to here. Okay. So we, again, these, if you look at all of these are everything we went through. Okay, all the teacher tools, how to do them. So when you get this PowerPoint, you will have, it just reminds you of everything we've just gone through, but I wanted you to see it live. PowerPoints can be dry, and I know I'm talking too much. So again, we did the help section. There's a PBS teacher tutorials. So there's also a site for teachers, and of course the link is there. If you would like some customized training, or you want some more training, we do it for your educators, we do it for families. Here's the form, and you'll see it on there. You can go ahead and use that to email us. There's also, I just wanted to point this out, there is a resource on here about teaching kids how to cite resources, because we have the credits on here as well. Yes, I will paste, I will add it to the chat. It's a Google Doc. Yes, Amy, I will do that. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go on. These are sample collections. So again, these are some, the new ones that we have now that I really think are very interesting, or you're really going to love, is this new one for school routines. So this is the name of it, but I've linked it on here. So what they've done, two things. They've done what's called teacher planning kits. So they're creating resources, especially because some of our kids cannot, they don't have access to internet. So these resources, these are for teachers. And on here, it gives you, they've created, so they have these different webinars, the professional development on each area. They've 8-week kits with lesson plans and everything, all on special topics, specifically geared for pre-K through 5th and 6th through 12th. And so this one was on elections and participations, and they'll be out. They'll have some more. So 9th through 12th, they're giving you resources that sort of align to that. And then they started in September. So they have all these different weeks. These are resources, what's on the air, and what kids can have access to, and what teachers can do to support those with other resources that are on PBS Learning Media. So this is on there. That's that one. And then this one is the, let me go back a sec to the main page. This learn along packets, these are actually printable packets that parents can use to go home. They're English and Spanish. They have them for pre-K to K, and they have them from from first to second. And they're kits with resources. For example, there's the new ones. This is for November coming up. So in this one, this is all about family storytelling. There's a kit, and it has a bingo, and then it has sheets that they can use to meet those needs and for the whole entire week. So you have all of those resources that are included there as well. English and Spanish, and downloadable. Okay, so those are the teacher tools. For elementary, I challenge you to look at some of these resources. Here, elementary has a viewing guide for their resources. It stops you every section, and it goes over, this was the topic that we looked at. This is how you can explore it, and how you can look at that resource. I did this with PBS Kids Time not that long ago. We did the properties of materials. So when you look up here, they have, in this one, they have the materials, they have the teacher activities that go with it. So this is all about, it shows about doing science and the steps involved. And then when you look at the support materials, it includes the viewing guide that teachers can download. It has the vocabulary. So you're looking at the viewing guide, tells you when to stop and what to go over these resources with the kids. So it is really comprehensive. The newest one that we have is Eleanor Wonders Why. And what they've done with this one is they have included Nearpod lessons that are already created that you can use. So my mouse is, there we go. So they have, when you look at any of these resources and you go in, they have Nearpod lessons. Here are printable student resources that they can use, a science notebook, descriptives, And so you'll see that on many of the resources that we're doing. Now here's the intro, they have an outdoor lesson, an indoor lesson, home connections as well. So explore those are really, really nice. And they have, again, that Nearpod embedded. This is engineering and design. This is a collection, there's science properties that come out. Cat in the Hat is now all engineering and STEM. Ready, Jet, Go is as well. Education through puppetry, they have a collection that is all about, they've done a science collection with us, and they have about the planets, and there's another one about the plants and ants and the bees and pollination and so on and so forth. Really interesting. For middle school, high school, we have all these collections. This one is so cool. The dissection lab, it actually gives you like videos of animals they've dissected. I know. I know. I taught kindergarten. That's like a little for me, but it's there. Okay, and then the H2O, Science Girls, and of course all the labs. There's a lot of labs on there as well. And there's virtual PDs. We have our dedicated pages that you'll see those at the end. We have a whole page on anti-racism for kids. Meet the Helpers, as we talked about, the Teachers Lounge, media literacy. And then we also offer, I wanted to let you know, if you visit WCF.org once a month, one of the schools, our local schools, one of the teachers joined the class, they sign up and they go to, we have the printable materials, and the kids join us. It's a live session that I put on with kids all over the you know, whoever in our area. It doesn't matter where they're from, they can join us. So if you have a class that wants to join us, this month we're doing Eleanor Wonders Why, and we're doing, I don't know if you can see these cute, we're experimenting about insects and camouflage, and we're doing some hands-on explorations as well. Here's where you can stay connected. Please follow us on WCF Educates. We have new resources up there all the time. We put new teacher information as well. And then we have the WCF Education newsletter. So if these again, you'll see that, please sign up for that. That's once a month, and you'll get new resources on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand it over to, we have some prize giveaways for those who are here and stuck it out with us. So can you, Patty, can you join us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will go ahead and do my favorite part over on this side. Well, actually, let me share my screen so you can see it. All right, and I'm gonna spin the wheel. So let's see. Yay!
Oh, Danielle, woohoo! So we'll get your information, and then we will we'll reach out to you. I'm sure Amy has the email, so we'll reach out to you. Then we'll get your email from you. Okay, you want to? We have two more.
So, two more? Okay, perfect. More?
Oh yes, because the fun, free stuff is always good, right?
Yay for free stuff! Okay, let's spin it again. Yay, Mark!
Woohoo!
Yay, Mark! Woo-woo!
One more time. Are we ready?
Go ahead. Woo! That's awesome. Look at our friends. So we're going to get that information from you, and then we will send it. I'm sending you the link to the PowerPoint. If it doesn't work, I'll send it to Amy directly. It's the doc. So you should receive it. Let me see if my keyboard is working with me. Okay. But anyway, I thank you so much. If you have any questions when you get the document, you can go ahead and email me. You can drop me a phone call, whatever you need. We're here to support you. If you're looking for some resources, let me know. And then I'll be in contact with those winners. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend. I know it's Friday. Woo! And don't eat too much candy.